Well, from the first drive of the day when the Irish, they were backed up all the way at their own 4-yard line, Steve Angeli comes out on his first ever uh, drive as a starter for the Irish, and the Irish went 96 yards in 11 plays. And that was just an example of the domination that the Irish had today on both sides of the ball. The Irish are now Sun Bowl champs, Indy 40, Oregon State 8. And for Fighting Irish Preview and fightingirishpreview.com, I'm Phil Houck. And Steve Angeli, who we already talked about, his first ever start, of course, after postgame, thanked his offensive line. And they did perform well today. But he looked outstanding. 15 of 19 on his passing, 232 yards, 3 touchdowns. He also rushed for 50 yards. He showed a nice burst with in the running game. And so it's going to be interesting what's going to happen in the spring. Steve Angeli, Kenny Minchey came in and played later in this game, but Riley Leonard coming in, CJ Carr already on campus. Quarterbacks, as we know, transfer. I'm not hoping for that, but who knows? Anyway, he was asked post-game if he knew Riley Leonard. He said, I've met Riley Leonard, and I'm excited to get him here. Signaling to me a quarterback competition. The spring will be very interesting. Angeli's top receiver today, Jordan Faison, started the season, walk-on lacrosse player. Everybody's heard the story. He goes on today, 5 catches, 115 yards, and a touchdown pass. He is the game MVP of the Sun Bowl. He started the season on scout team. Post-game, Marcus Freeman was asked about Jordan Faison and whether he thought maybe we should have gotten him into the lineup a little bit earlier in the season. And admittedly, Freeman was a little sheepish and said, yeah, maybe that would have been a good idea, something along those lines. Defensively, the Irish were also dominant all day long, holding Oregon State to just 197 yards of total offense. 4 sacks today. Jordan Boitello, who is the most valuable lineman here today, Jack Kaiser, Javante Jean-Baptiste, Howard Cross, they all got in the sack game act. And Ben Morrison picked off another pass today, notched another interception, his third of the year, 8th or 9th of his career, 8th, I believe. And the future really looks bright for ND. They started 5 true freshmen on that offense today. And of the 11 starters on defense, 9 will return next season. And so where does that season go next year? Well, the Irish will kick off 2024 at College Station, Texas A&M. That will be a spicy game. They will face the old defensive coordinator, Mike Elko, and that will be his first ever collegiate game for Texas A&M. August 31st, 2024. We predicted pregame Notre Dame 31-14 winners. We didn't do too bad in that department. The final from El Paso today. Notre Dame 40, Oregon State 8. Thank you for all the support you've shown Fighting Irish Preview this season. And of course, the season never really ends. Stay tuned into Fighting Irish Preview for updates whenever there is news for the Fighting Irish. You know, I love Notre Dame football. You love Notre Dame football. So be sure and check us out. And when you go to fightingirishpreview.com, consider buying Fighting Irish Preview a cup of coffee. And it is a little chilly out here right now. Now that the sun has gone down here at the Sun Bowl, and I could probably use a cup of coffee. Notre Dame 40, Oregon State 8. Notre Dame are your Sun Bowl champs, and that's a wrap.